UK9. Yeah, we're all familiar with how this goes at this point. I'm gonna bomb him with everything in range. I'm gonna be trading the provinces with the UK. And I'll use this fighter here and this fighter here. Actually, I think I'll use this infantry instead, so that I have some to spare here. And I'll send some to capture Burma. I don't mind him stacking Burma next turn. I think it's dead zones. I think even if he brings all 8 units, I'll be able to take it back with the bombers and my units in India. And we'll have a go. See how the bombing does this time. Oh, yeah! Now we're starting to get some real damage here. And we're trading successfully, hopefully. Alright, that trade was not successful, but I'll be able to cap it with US, so it's no big deal. Beautiful. Alright. And I think we'll land all the bombers. We'll in as many bombers as possible in West Russia. It's a nice province. I'll send this one back here, this one back here, this one here, and then send the troops up. No hard decisions, just grinding away. Make sure to send this sub so it doesn't get killed. Oh, never mind. Yeah, sometimes you can do this little trick with submarines where I could place this on top of the stack, and if I hadn't captured Burma he killed the sub, he wouldn't be able to use his transports in to transport anything this turn. But unfortunately, he could just send everything into Burma, and that would. But wouldn't that be good for me actually? And then he wouldn't be able to. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. Yeah. So his only options for transporting now are into Alaska or into Burma if he wants to kill my submarine. So this is. That's a neat little trick. We'll see if he falls for it. Yeah, he was just online, so it looks like he is indeed waiting until it's 1 hour left and then taking his turn. But I don't think there's much I can do to speed up the process of ending the game here. I'll just have to hope that that I'll be in time. Yeah, I'm starting to get increasing attack power lead, especially when I get these nice bombing results. So we'll see what he does with Japan in when he takes his turn in 24 hours. US 12. I'm gonna mix in a tank here, just because I have some excess income. And I'll grab Baltic states. Oh, and I'll also grab Somalia, Italian East Africa. And we will continue the stack. And I think, yeah, I think I'll keep this here. I don't see any reason to move this up to Norway, Finland yet. He did hit Burma, but I'll be able to trade that back. Okay. Yeah, we're starting to get a decent number of troops in West Russia. He went for a Yakut stack. That's respectable. I'm going to trade this province. And yeah, I'm just going to assume that this is this stack is fine. Send one unit into Belarusia, and I'm gonna stack Xinjiang. It's a nice central province. It should dead zone Evenki, Anvai, and Shizvan. Or maybe I'll be able to stack Anvai with his troops here from here and the plains. But it's not gonna be easy, that's for sure. Okay, I think I'll send some extra troops into Kazakh to make sure that Shizvan is dead zoned and the rest up here. Okay, I will double check just so I don't lose to something silly here. So there's 28 infantry, 6 artillery, and 4 fighters and 3 bombers. And he has 15, 1, 11, 5 fighters, 2 bombers. Yeah, that's a 90% odds to defend for me, not counting the AA. So that seems fine. I'm not going to transfer out any more Russian infantry yet though. I'll be waiting for next round with that. Alright. Beautiful. UK round 10. He has actually gone for a Caucasus stack, which is probably his strongest move at this point. But I've done the math, and I think I can stack both West Russia and Russia. So I don't think it's gonna work for him. I'm going to get an industrial complex here. This is because he's moved this stack up into Northwestern Europe. So as mentioned earlier, I'm worried about the Japanese fighter transfer up into Northwestern Europe, which would then threaten this. So I'm buying an industrial complex to be able to deploy boats directly into this Norwegian sea zone 3 here. I'm going to be trading with UK, and he's left this province empty, Ukraine empty. So I'm just gonna grab that with Russia here. I think I'm going to be bombing him with everything once again, and I will be recapturing Burma. I just need to make sure to keep enough in India so that I can kill everything he lands with, if he lands with everything. I'll use this plane here, 2, 3. I use this plane here. With since it's still Germany's turn, it's not really threatening this fleet with anything. So my fighter here can still be used for defense on the main front. This looks fine. Let's see how it does with the bombing. Holy crap! Okay, wait, I need to take a picture of that because that is hilarious. Wow, that is the first time I've had that bad overall. Oh wow, that is heartbreaking. Holy binoli. And I do 1 damage. Oh wow. Oh wow. I'll have to take a picture of that too. Yeah, that is not something you see every day. I'm really glad I caught that on video actually. Holy binoli. Wow. Alright. Well, yeah, suffice to say that is not a good trade. Trading 1 IPC for a 48 IPC. But I believe that this the game is not really that close, so I don't think it matters. This will allow him to stay alive for a lot longer though, because I won't be able to trade UK IPCs for German IPCs and delay his production. Wow. Okay, that is pretty sad. My bombers. No. Oh. All right. Yeah, we'll station the. I'll do the exact distribution with of the forces on the US and Russia's turn. We'll place this back here. As long as I'm able to maintain this Xinjiang stack, Japan is way far away from doing anything productive. So doing that and maintaining the income lead, yeah, he's actually got the attack power lead after all my bombers died for nothing. Wow. Alright. What even is the odds of that? What the hell? Alright. Well, no one can say that I'm not hit by dice like everybody else after that one. Wow. Okay. Yep, still collecting a healthy amount of IPCs at least. He's down to under 80 income, while I'm at about 100. So there's still a decent income lead. I don't think he'll be able to maintain this Caucasus stack, or he will be able to maintain it. He'll be able to transfer in Japanese fighters, but I don't think he will be able to reinforce it, because I have a lot of American ground units coming in. All right. Well, I don't think the game is equalized yet, but that's a good first step for him. That's for sure. US round 10. He did go for this Northwestern Europe stack with the Japanese planes, as I predicted. So I'm gonna have to transfer this over, and I think that's together with the UK production here in Norway, that should be enough to hold it. And yeah, he's trading these provinces, which is a lot better than him trading these actually valuable Russian provinces. So I'm fine with that. He recaptured Borneo, which is also fine. I'm gonna be saving up 3 income per turn to eventually get a fighter or something with the US. US has no combats. I've done the math, and I don't think I need to transfer any US troops into Moscow to hold it comfortably. I have been wrong before though. Transfer this up here. So the turn itself is pretty simple, but I had to do the math for this battle, the math for West Russia, and the math for Russia proper. So it's been quite complicated for me, at least. And I'm not gonna transfer any fighters to Moscow either, because they only need the Russian fighters. I really hope I didn't mess up my math here, because that's gonna cost me dearly, but I'm gonna choose to have faith in myself. Yeah, since there's nothing in range, I might as well keep this in Sudan. There's no telling if he's gonna go for some shift over again. I'm gonna transfer over one. I think I only need one infantry and one artillery in reserve here, and I'll transfer down more if the need arises. Okay. The carriers aren't completely full here, but I should still be able to hold it against his 15 airplanes. There are 4 UK destroyers hiding behind the transports here. So with the UK planes coming back, it should be fine. Alright, producing 7 Russian units. So I'm gonna be capturing Ukraine. Gonna be trading these provinces. Using the plane here. An extra infantry. If he didn't put his German stack in Caucasus, I would be able to push the Anvai or Sheswan with the Russian stack here. So he's accomplishing quite a bit actually by having that there. If he hits one, I think I retreat. Alright, we traded successfully. And then the top part. Alrighty, and I'm gonna transfer all my Russian units to Moscow. This will be blocking. And if my math is correct, this should give me odds to hold everything together. And I'm also getting rid of these multinational stacks which have a very low offensive potential. The US stack is growing very steadily here. This does mean that I'm not able to reinforce the Xinjiang stack this turn. But I don't think the pressure is going to be increasing on Moscow that much next turn. So I'll with the US units coming in. So I think I'll be able to continue the push later on. Oh yeah, and he did kill the transport. He did kill my my sub. But he was still able to move in non-combat. That's kind of funky. I was sure that if he took that combat, he would. Wait, no, he didn't take that combat. That's gotta be a different game. Oh, never mind. It was that last round. Oh yeah. So last round he wasn't able to move. All right, I completely missed that. Yeah, so that's why there are 10 infantry in Japan. All right. Yeah, it did work. Huh. Nice. All right, I'm gonna move this sub over and see if I can do it again in a few turns. That was funny. All right, I'm gonna deploy everything to Moscow. And there should be 32 ground units. Yeah, and one infantry. All right, and there's this 28-6. Okay, and 5 fighters. Yeah, I did the math correctly. That is always nice when that happens. So we'll yeah, he's actually online too and taking his turns now, which is nice. So maybe we'll get this game done in the next few days. UK 11. So I'm gonna get 2 extra fighters to fill up my carrier here. One issue with leaving Japanese fighters in frontline provinces is that it's pretty hard to evacuate them without having to give some concession. And here is offering me a coin flip to kill these units, which I think I'm gonna take. And I'll use the fighters to fill up. I'll hit everything in here. And we're gonna do 1 round of combat and see how we do. This does mean that I'm not gonna be able to trade as efficiently here. I'm gonna have to use the US fighters to kill Baltic states this turn, I think. And we'll trade Burma again. Alright. Wait for the most important battle first. Missing, and pretty bad roll from my side, but pretty bad roll from his side as well. We're gonna roll. Oh, that's a good one. 2 hits. All missing on the fighters, and a hit on the bomber. He misses there. And looks like we are going to be trading air. This battle I'm not gonna go for, I think. So I'm gonna retreat here. Yeah, slight profit, but nothing to write home about. It's not like trading 48 IPCs for 1 IPC. And the rest of our trades are hopefully successful. Alright. I'll be moving down. We don't have that much units coming in, unfortunately, because of the IC buy and the fighter buy this turn. He does have 6 units with the 2 fighters. I have 10, 11 with 2 fighters. He has 3 fighters, but the bomber does not reach. Okay, I think if I place both my fighters here I'm safe. 10, 12, 13, 14, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. This does probably mean that I'll have to transfer some Russian units into West Russia. Alright. 2. And the odds for him on this naval battle should only be about 25-75. So 75% for me and 25% for him. If he goes for it, he's very bold. But yeah, I'm willing to take that battle, which is why I'm offering it. Oh, never mind. I miscounted my destroyers. I have 6 destroyers. So it's actually 15%. All right. There we go. Solid income. And the grind continues. US 11. He's moved the stack into Evenki, and he moved his fighters down. He also hit Alaska, so I'm going to be producing 2 infantry and put that in Western United States to cover that. I'm also going to be trading Baltic states with the US, which isn't ideal, but it's better than not trading it. yeah, that's the only trade. I don't want to be producing units in Caucasus anyways, so I'll let Russia recapture that. Now that the threat level up here is a lot lower, I'm gonna transfer down my fighters. I'll land once more. And I am going to be sending these two over. I think if I leave this totally empty, it's gonna start to land here again, so I'm gonna be leaving a tiny garrison there. Though having too many troops not contributing is obviously not good. Alright. There we go. Russia gonna be producing 3-3. I'm not gonna be able to maintain this Xinjiang stack this turn. So I have to be a bit careful with what I do. Let's see, I could go for a Szechuan stack maybe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't hit this with air though, so I'd only have six units. So that just it won't work, I think. I will still be able to dead zone on Vi. No, I won't be able to do that either. This is actually a bit troubling. Could actually go for for an Anvai stack here, because he doesn't really have that much in range. If I keep Xinjiang blocked off. 2, 1, 2. So this will go here, and I think I'll set up a Novosibirsk stack and push this Evenki stack back. It's the most sensible option, I think. So he has 4 ground units, and he has 3 bombers and 3 fighters. So he will be able to clear that unless I send UK fighters. I think I can afford to be a bit aggressive when I'm trading against Japan here. That maybe okay. Let's actually do the, because if he clears it too efficiently, I'm not too keen on that. So he has 3 fighters and he has 3 bombers, and I'm gonna have probably 7 units, and I'll probably have 2 fighters. Yeah, he has a 90% chance to clear, so I don't think this trade is something I should be opting into. So I'll just take a coin flip, and if he kills one unit, I'll retreat to Xinjiang, and we'll do a Novosibirsk stack and hopefully push back into Xinjiang next turn. Yeah, I think that's the most sound course of action. Alright, let's see. Oh, looks like we're gonna win the coin flip. Let's see, hits back. Alright, we won the coin flip. That is nice. Down here. Alright, won that as well. And then I will have to transfer some Russian units over to West Russia to continue holding that. I think I will transfer 2 artillery, and or do I sent the fighters down, so maybe I don't. Yeah, okay, I don't really need need to, but I'm still gonna send one artillery and one infantry to, or actually I'll send two, because UK doesn't have that much available to trade from West Russia, so I'll be looking to trade those units off slowly but surely. And we're gonna set up a big Novosibirsk stack. Also move this over. And Xinjiang is double dead zone, so I'm just gonna keep a few units here. I'm hoping he won't capture it, and I'll take Anwei, or he will trade it heavily, and I'll be able to trade and stack Xinjiang and Evenki next turn, and I think that trade will be either even or profitable for me. I'm gonna get a new set of units. He does have some tricks here with the clearing Vologda or Archangel with German planes. So, but because I moved the UK unit out of Russia, so I will have to sacrifice a bomber or something in Vologda to stop the blitz. So I'm gonna try and remember and put the UK infantry back into Russia to stop that, because losing to Moscow to a blitz would not be very fun. But the situation looks like it's stabilized, and now I'm gonna have to slowly but surely rebuild my bomber force and keep trading until this US stack pushes in gradually and defeats Germany. UK 12, he's retreated his Poland stack, so I'm going to be stepping up to Belarusia. He's also retreated from Northwestern Europe, so but as long as these 12 Japanese fighters are here, I don't think I can land comfortably yet. But this is a lot of income, so I'll try and set it up next turn. I think I want to give Ukraine to, or I'll grab it with UK actually. Having UK have some income is not all that bad. Down here, I think I'll only hit this with 2 units this turn, and to try and actually build up a bit of a reserve. I'll be hitting Baltic states with UK, and I'll also transfer these fighters down since they are no longer needed for fleet protection. And that's it for this turn. Let's see what our last bomber can do. All right, not not the most significant damage, but at least it didn't get shot down. And we will transfer our stack over to Belarusia. I've already done the math, and it's gonna hold very solidly once I transfer all the stuff from Karelia as well. And I should, yeah, I forgot, I should really be putting a UK infantry into Russia. This guy will eventually work his way up there, so I guess that's what he's gonna do. Alright, 3 units there. It doesn't really matter if I produce it in Norway or UK, since I have excess transports either way, so I'm just gonna put them into UK for the protection against air, I guess, or yeah, it doesn't really matter. Russia, no, what am I saying? This is US round 12. Yeah, he moved this transport back, so I'm gonna be moving up my infantry here, and we'll get 12 units as usual. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to not having any combats as US. But that's good. That means we're not trading off any units, and all the US units produced are getting added to this stack, so to speak. And I'll be transferring over. We can do a quick check and see. So he produced 11 units, and then he traded off in Caucasus, Belarus, and Baltic states. He traded off 6 infantry. So overall, his stack grew with 5 infantry, and my stack is growing with 12 infantry. So it's progress is being made, which is the important part. I'll move these 2 infantry up here to recapture Alaska. I love that he actually transferred the troops back down, even though he has excess troops in Japan. It's a bit funny, I think. And yeah, it's a bit awkward because of the bombers, but I think we will eventually want to. I could actually have captured. Yeah, there's no bombers in range of Season 10 anymore, so I can start using that again. And I'll see if I can maybe start trading France. I think I'll do it with the US if he keeps his fighters in Poland, because then I can land here with the US and then reinforce with UK by the time it's Japan's turn. Then we'll get our 12 units. We'll get 7 units with Russia. Trade this province, trade this province, and he traded Xinjiang, but he didn't manage to clear it. That is wonderful. We can use our fighters there. And we'll transfer these 2 over here. Move our entire stack, except for this guy, who's gonna act as a blocker, into Xinjiang. And now we're once again dominating the approach into Russia here, and shouldn't have any issues. How many ground units is he getting? Yeah, he's now shifted over to actually producing ground, so he's slowly but surely going to be producing more ground than Russia, but he's trading off 3 units. Yeah, he's traded off 3 units this time. Oh wait, what? He traded off 5 units? Wait, no. Okay, I don't get it. Yeah, he's trading off units versus UK here, so I don't know if his stack is growing quicker than the Russian stack or not, actually. And we've grown our income lead this turn because he's no longer going to be able to capture Caucasus unless he moves his stack into Ukraine again. But that's starting to get a bit dangerous, because if he moves into Ukraine, I can move into Baltic states, and I'm not that far away from getting odds on Berlin, I think. But we'll see. Maybe we will retreat back to West Russia if he goes to Ukraine. Or maybe we'll stay and try and claim that we can dead zone. We'll see. UK 13. He's transferred 10 more infantry to Poland, but this is less than I'm reinforcing with, so I don't really need to worry about this stack too much. I'm gonna get a fighter here, because as I said, I'm gonna try and start trading France and Northwestern Europe. I'm gonna start doing it on US's turn, because the fighters in Poland don't have reach into Sea Zone 8, and this fighter is gonna match up with this fighter down here, and I'll get a second carrier for additional fleet protection. Is the plan. And yeah, I think, will I be trading two or only? Yeah, I'll trade both provinces with 2 infantry each. Yeah, he's starting to limit the amount of troops he's sending. He traded significantly less this turn and last turn, and so progress is slower. We want to try and maximize the amount of trades each turn. I'm going to be trading with US this first initial round, which is isn't ideal, but I think it has to be that way, because UK simply doesn't have enough troops to have enough navy to defend against these 12 fighters on their own. It's once again going to be a bit awkward to abandon France, so I'll have to be careful of that. I could transfer over more bombers and such, so, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Alright, we're slowly gaining value back from that initial disaster a few rounds ago. Some games last long enough for the RNG to even out, and but the most games don't. So I think I'm gonna end up a negative profit on bombers this game. I'll be transferring one fighter back, and they'll be landing here. The troops in Finland. All right. Double check. Nothing missing. Maybe I'll send down a destroyer, see if he kills it or not. A cruiser, maybe? The cruiser isn't too useful. No. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep things as is. I'll deploy the bomber and the fighter in the sea there. Get more ground for India, and 2 infantry for UK. I don't want him to be able to make a profit bombing it. So, all right. Yeah, I think we're slowly making progress, but it's kind of hard to tell. Both are just stacking and increasing now. But as long as I'm maintaining this stack here, German income is getting whittled down. US round 13. He's moved his stack in Akut back, and I think he's starting to buy air again. So the big change there is that we're actually going to be landing in Europe for once. And that's it for the attacks. Oh, no, we will also be retaking Alaska. It doesn't have anything in range to retake it, so that's wonderful. And the rest of this will land in Finland. Move the troops down. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I've already done the math on this, and I think it's all good. We'll send the rest up here. So this will significantly increase the number of provinces I'm trading each round, so it should speed up my progress. Now I think I would like to keep some troops here actually, so that in case he captures India, I'll be able to retake it with my American troops there, and trade immediately after. Yep. So I'm gonna leave them as is. We'll produce 12 units, and it's gonna be a bit awkward to make this extra income useful as US. Maybe I'll get some extra air or a bomber to trade off or something. Since I'm nowhere near at bomber capacity yet because of the disaster earlier. Get 7 units. We'll trade these 2 provinces. Unfortunately, I'm not able to stack either of them because of the units he has here. But I will be able to stack Evenki. So I think since it's offering that, I'm gonna take that. Okay. Sound of me frantically clicking. Wonderful to hear, I'm sure. So he has 5 units, and he's gonna have 10 units in total in range, and I have 6 units so far. I'll transfer 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll transfer all my production. Only downside of this is that he's potentially gonna be able to stack one of these easier, but I think we would have gotten it off either way. When he trades both of these and transfers all the tanks into Szechuan, I think he will actually be able to make progress with Japan miraculously after 14 rounds. So I won't be able to keep him, push him into the sea, which would have been funny. But I'm kind of glad he's putting up a good fight here. The submarine has finally been able to make its way around, with me forgetting to move it in half the rounds. It's quite an achievement. UK 14. Looks like he re-established his friend stack. I'm going to be trading Northwestern Europe with UK, and I'm going to be getting an additional carrier to protect my fleet up here. I'm going to be bombing. This does mean that the bomber buildup is going to be delayed once again, but it's already so slow that I don't even care anymore. Now he has a lot of extra stuff here right now, so he might just go for India. I don't think I'll be able to stop him, so I'll have to evacuate India and start to set up trade back and forth again, like we did a long time ago, or like around 7 or 8 or something. Alright. Yep. Looks good. One got shot down, but we traded pretty evenly. And Burma. Almost failed that, but was successful in the end. And I'm gonna put my bombers here. Transfer over. Oh, that doesn't work. Longest movement first, and the shortest. And we'll. He has 2 bombers. So I'm gonna keep the destroyer and the carrier a destroyer there in addition to the carrier for defense. It looks like he failed this trade in Ukraine. And down here, I'll think I'll be dead zoning India for this turn, because he can hit it with 8 plus 5. Wait, do I need to do that? Let's see. You can hit it with 8, 9 plus 5 is 14. I have 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I don't need to do that actually. Gonna be, and I think maybe we'll reroute a bit, since I think we have one excess fighter. Yeah, we have an excess fighter, so maybe we'll transfer one less, because we already have almost enough to defend against this these 12 fighters. So I think with the additional 5 units, it should be pretty safe. Yeah, and then we're gonna be safe in India as well. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I left the carrier up there. I got very confused for a moment there. Yeah, it doesn't really matter where I deploy them. And I think we actually, yeah, he bought 2 less infantry than usual last turn, and he traded off 5. So he only grew his infantry count with 4 units last turn. So slow but steady progress. US round 14. I'm gonna use the extra income from France to get the bomber with the US. And I don't think we'll do any combats. I'm gonna transfer, he's moved this Japan stack up to Shizwan. So he's got quite a lot of units pinpointing that province right now. So I'm gonna be moving some units there to cover that. Soviets alone can't hold it, so I'm gonna need to transfer over some US and UK fighters. I think I'll keep this here still, and very short US turn here. This should still be stable. These Japanese bombers are out of range. I'll get my 12 ground units, and I'm adding a bomber. As for Russia, still gonna get ground units. I'll trade this with as little as possible, and I'll trade. Should I send more there? No, I'll trade both of these with at least at as little as possible to preserve troops for the stack. The crit failed, but that's fine. The important part is that he's not able to trade Evenki again. Alright, this also failed, but that's also fine. And then we're gonna dump everything into this province. We'll send reinforcements in. The US stack has grown big enough to hold its own, so I'm gonna transfer away even more the last bit of my Russian units. UK has enough infantry to trade both Baltic states and Ukraine, so I don't need them there anymore. UK 15, I'm gonna get a plane to replace this, because I have to send UK planes to Xinjiang. Other than that, I'm gonna trade as always with my fighter cruiser. He took this province. I'm also gonna trade this, And I have no artillery, which is inconvenient. Okay. I might actually use a bomber for this turn. And he failed the recapture on Burma, so I don't need to use those planes for anything. Okay, actually, just sending the 2 India fighters is enough, I think. But then he'll potentially no, these bombers don't reach India, so okay, I'm gonna use this India fighter here, this fighter from the North Sea here, and I'll get the bomb. No hits this time, so we're gonna go up to 3 bombers again next turn. And trading Baltic states. If I ever hit, there we go. We move the reinforcements down and move the planes. Yeah, I'll produce a new plane there. And these 2 planes will need to go into Xinjiang. Oh, okay, never automatically land your bombers. That would be scary. Alright, I'm gonna land my bombers here. And I'll get a new bomber and I'll deploy my new fighter up here. And we got a nice 40 income. US 15. He got 10 infantry and a fighter. I'm gonna get 12 units. And I don't have any attacks. Nope. And I'll start to transfer stuff into Kazakh because he has enough units to push me out of Xinjiang. I'll transfer down. And that's an easy US turn. As for the Soviets, they're not gonna be trading Anvai this turn because he'll just recapture it and I won't gain any income for it. So it's just gonna be an even trade. Not really interested in that. Let's see. Going to put a lot and I'll transfer this up here to dead zone Evenki together with 1 infantry and 1 artillery from this stack. The rest will go down into here. I'll take 1 more infantry there actually. And we'll get 7 more units. So I'm getting 7 infantry per turn and he's getting 10 infantry per turn. So to stay even, I should transfer 3 infantry per turn or something from the US stack or the UK stack over into the Russian stack to reach an equilibrium and then snowball again from there. UK 16, he's moved his German bombers into France, so I'll have to remember to not send my transport into Sea Zone 10 next round. I'm getting another bomber and some ground. Going to once again be trading Baltic states, 2 infantry and a fighter. I'm going to be trading Northwestern Europe with infantry, artillery and 2 fighters. And bombing. Yup. See how we do. Wow, alright, we're starting to make back our investment. Alright, eventually we'll hit, right? Hey, alright, but he hit back, so I'll have to land with some a US transport. We'll send one infantry down into Ukraine, move up the infantry here, land in our usual spot, move the fighter up, move an infantry up here, an infantry to Persia. And we don't have a lot of ground units right now, so nothing to do right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. None of his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, none of his bombers are in range, so his Japanese bombers, so nothing to fare at the moment. One here. Sure. Alright. He got 8 infantry, and he traded away 5 infantry, so he only made a net 3 infantry last turn, so progress. US round 16, and it seems like we have the first obvious mistake, because 4 Japanese fighters is not enough to hold Poland. I have about 95% odds to clear Poland here, and I will obviously take that. So we're just gonna go all in. He's transferred over his Japanese bombers, so I think we'll have to ditch this this Sea Zone 8 stack. I'm gonna have to do it in 2 steps. I'm gonna have to leave enough so that Germany doesn't wipe it, and then I'll have to pull out with UK, and he'll be able to trade off some of his Japanese planes for some of my fleet if he wants to, but that's just how that works. Hopefully this is gonna offset that, so we'll see how this battle goes. I have a lot of units coming in, but he does have 2 AA guns, and if he hits 4 out of 5 here, or even worse, okay, he hits 1, which is the average, so that is fine by me, because if this battle goes average, yeah, gonna 11 twos. Yeah, that's looks like it's gonna be a pretty crushing victory if that's the way it's gonna go. 19, yeah, that's about 1 in 3, I think. 5, slightly below average. 2, slightly below average. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a crushing victory. 4 is below average for me. Oh, once again, a pretty good, or actually, yeah, that's actually perfectly average. Well above average with fighters again. And 8 hits from his side. Oh, above average from the tanks here. And a full hit from the fighters, but I think it's too late now. 9 ones, beautiful. You love to see it. 4 out of 5. Okay, we both hit pretty. Oh, only 3 hits, but he only has 7 infantry left though, so it's actually above average. 5 hits, slightly below average. 2 hits, below average, and we clear it. Yeah, that's gonna be a big profit here. Oof, over a little less than 100 in profit. That is beautiful, and I don't think he's gonna be able to clear that either with his 16 infantry in 16 infantry in Germany. Now, yeah, I think, and we'll just push onwards. And he has moved this stack down into Burma to capture India. So we're probably gonna be doing a destroyer block next turn to prevent him from capturing Egypt. This guy needs to go here to not get killed by the bombers in France. And I've done the math, and I think this stack here is pretty safe, even if I transfer away two carriers. So I'm going to try and preserve the most expensive units. I don't think I can transfer away the battleship. No, I can't. I can't transfer away cruiser. In that case, he has 40% to clear it. Am I okay with offering that? Yeah, I think I'm going to transfer away one cruiser. So now he'll have 40-60 if he sends all his German planes in. But I think that is absolutely fine by me. Because on a general basis, trading German planes for fleet in Kill Germany First is favorable. And we end our turn. Significant progress. The first mistake is made, like a large mistake is made in a lot of turns. I think it's since the Karelia battle, like way in the start of the game, he hasn't kept this stack in the dead zone. I think he kind of got complacent since he's been static on this front for so long. And here we will trade Evenki. And I don't think I'll bother, or okay, I'll clear Szechuan as well to keep him from sending fighters there. And obviously we're not going to be able to hold India, so we'll have to dead zone it. So he has 27 units. So I'm gonna send 30 ground units into Persia. There we go. And I'll need, he has 6 ground units up here, and I still have 5, so we'll keep it to an even 7. The rest will still be in Kazakh, the most flexible province. So this I'll pull out with UK, and we'll probably either be trading India for a few turns, or he'll start to pull back. We'll have to see what kind of variation he chooses to go down. Maybe he'll try and stack Xinjiang or something also, or he'll pull his tanks back, and I'll pivot back with my 30 ground unit stack. Just slowly choking the life out of him. Yeah, big change in the attack power. All these tanks and 4 fighters died there. So, and that's where a lot of his attack power was. Well, most of my attack power is in infantry and artillery. So this is getting close to the end now, I think. UK round 7. Looks like he actually did go for the Poland stack, but he retreated after he lost his infantry. He did trade pretty favorably, I think. But the writing is still on the wall here. He only collected 25 income. And I'm gonna get the bomber and the destroyer, and we'll continue. Now I'm gonna start trading Ukraine, and we'll keep bombing. All right. Yeah, looks like we're getting our value back. I think we might actually end up with a positive overall value, which I would not have thought possible a few rounds ago. Now I can't actually park my bombers in Poland here because He has a lot of stuff in range. I'm gonna park it in Belarus instead. I'm gonna pick up my ground units and transfer the boats up to the Norwegian Sea. And we will abandon India. And we'll deploy our destroyer to block, prevent him from capturing Egypt this turn. And I think we will deploy 1 infantry, just to trade off, force him to commit more than 1 infantry to capturing it. And that seems fine. Yeah, it's getting pretty ridiculous now. But I'm still not quite on the point where I have odds on Germany. That's still gonna wait a few more rounds. US round 17. He did kill my battleship here, but he lost 2 fighters for it, so I'm happy with that outcome. He also sent 2 infantry into trade into India. For US here, I think I'm just not gonna do any combats and just move my stack up. And then next turn I think we'll consolidate in Baltic states to put some real pressure on Berlin. And he'll move these bombers so I can safely use this province again. And I think these guys will contribute, so we'll have a maximum pressure on Berlin next turn. We'll get 12 units. Beautiful. And US and Russia will only have to hold out for a few more rounds here. So he's quite cleverly placed his tanks in Yunnan, so they can both pressure India and Kazakh at the same time. But my stack is big enough that I don't think it matters. We're just gonna trade. Okay, I think I'll trade this province with these 2 and trading this with these 2. And that looks fine. No losses there, that's pretty lucky. So I've already done the math on all of these, on the Kazakh and the India battles, and it should be 60 to 80% to hold on both of them now. UK will get a round of production, which will really help them in holding India. And I'll just have a lot of units here, which will help Russia. I will allow him to capture Evenki and then start trading Vologda and Archangel, but I think that's worth it to be able to stack and hold Kazakh. Alright, I think the end is in sight. UK 18, he's pulled his stack from France into Germany, but this highlights, and he only bought 5 infantry. This highlights one of the awkwardness of placing Japanese fighters, is that they can very easily be lost afterwards. So I'm gonna be targeting them this turn with 4 infantry. Oh, if this guy wants to load, here we go. And I will also be capturing Northwestern Europe. I think I'll still be bombing with 4 bombers. And I think I'll 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll trade this with one infantry and one airplane, and I'll send the rest to France because I want to actually capture it and not just clear it. I got 2 destroyers to make sure that both Sea Zone 3 and Sea Zone 8 was safe from air attack. Let's see how we do with the bombing. Oh, beautiful! All right, and I've stopped buying bombers now because the fall of Berlin is getting pretty close there. So I think the existing amount of bombers is enough to bomb for the rest of the game. I think I will move the US stack into Baltic states this turn, but it's a bit awkward with the bombers because no matter where I place them, I think they're in range of a strafe, which is a bit awkward. So I think I'm gonna spread them out a bit. One here, one here, one here, and one. This guy goes to Great Britain. 2 in Moscow, sure. And these guys go to India to defend there. Only need to hold out for a little more before reinforcements can be transferred down from Europe. I think probably I'll be able to take Berlin in round 20. There's a little trick that I'm thinking of showing on the US turn where you can skip some turns of logistics when you're getting close to getting odds. So yeah, I think I want both destroyers here, and I'm going to deploy 2 and 3 infantry in India. So now we shouldn't have odds to clear this with the Japanese planes, and we shouldn't have odds to clear this with the Japanese bombers. So I didn't actually check that. 3 bombers versus 1 cruiser, 2 carriers. Yeah, I very much wish I kept the US fighter there. Yeah, it's actually 40% for him to clear that. That's gonna be really painful if he goes for it and succeeds. So that's an inaccuracy on my part. But maybe we'll win the maybe we'll win the 40-60. Who knows? And even if these guys are killed, I think it's a bit too late. Anyhow. Yikes. US 18, he went for the 40% and got a very good result, only losing 1 bomber for my 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser, 2 carriers, and 6 transports. So that's that's a very bad trade, obviously. I'm gonna get 3 new transports, and I'm gonna be landing in France and Northwestern Europe from now on, since I now have a big enough stack to prevent him from stacking France and Northwestern Europe. So I should be able to trade pretty reasonably there. He once again put a transport in range of Western United States. I'm gonna have to get the garrison there, and he got 3 new bombers. All right, I don't think there's any combat. I guess we could bomb Italy. So I don't think there's any better use for that bomber. Of course, it gets shot down immediately. Really piling on here. All right, and then we'll transfer the stack up to the Baltic states. And I think we are going to leave a few infantry here in Finland just to somewhat discourage him from killing the bomber. And we'll be landing evenly among France and Northwestern Europe. And moving the stack up, of course. So still a pretty simple turn, but it's a bit... yeah, things have not quite gone as planned. That's for sure. So we're gonna get 3 new transports and 6 new infantry. Luckily, I think this late, I'm just gonna be able to keep my my British fleet here in Sea Zone 8 and just reinforce it whenever matching the Japanese air coming into Europe. So I don't think I'll need to buy more coastal defenses or fleet power as the US. So I'll be able to get up to 12 transports again pretty quickly, I think. So on this front, we see that he's pivoting down to India again. I think there's going to be some dance here going on, but he's gotten 3 bombers, which is pretty interesting. I wonder what the plan is there. So obviously I'm going to have to retreat from India again, and I'll have to put enough Russians into Persia to dead zone India, and he has let's just say he has an even 40, even though it's it's 36. So we're gonna have to send a matching number of troops. I'm just gonna send 40, I think, and that will be 40 infantry. There we go. And he has 4 units up here with a lot of stuff in range. I'm producing enough to dead zone this already in Russia, so I don't think I need to concern myself about that actually. So this should be enough to... Okay, let's actually double check that this is enough to dead zone his Japanese stack here. So what will I have? I'll have 29, 11, 2 tanks, 2 fighters, and he'll have 19 infantry and 17 tanks. Because he has a lot of fighting power. Yeah, it's only a 64%. If I send 2 more artillery, up to 13 artillery, we're already up to an 84%. So I think that's a slight improvement. I'll send the AA again as well. And yeah, I think that's a reasonable setup. I'm gonna have to buy a British destroyer here again to block him from going into Egypt. And yeah, we're still on business as usual. And the nice thing about the transports here is that they can now go up and pick up the units in Karelia, and I'm actually threatening Berlin pretty heavily here. So he'll have to respect not only these units, but also 12 of the units over here, a full extra load. So no way he has enough to stack France or Northwestern Europe. So he's probably going to have to go for big trade using his 9 planes. So he can either choose to do an effective trade in one province, like France, or he'll have to do a big trade in 2 provinces. Maybe I should have landed a bit more in Northwestern Europe to offset the extra income from France. But even with the delay, I think the writing is still on the wall here for him. Maybe I'll start producing AA guns in the UK to load onto France to trade away start trying to trade away his air force with the UK IPCs. That seems like a reasonable course of action. UK round 19. He's just traded France. He sent in 5 infantry, so he of course traded very favorably here, but in the end I did keep Northwestern Europe, and he only has 21 income now, so I can afford to trade a bit, trade down a bit. When I get 2 destroyers, 1 to block here in India and 1 to reinforce my fleet a bit, I'll start buying bombers again, because with this battle in the North Sea, he's going to be able to delay my timing on Germany, I think. And we will hit France. If I can select my planes there. And I'll bomb with the cruiser. And we will go into Southern Europe. Start trading that. No attacks in the east. So we'll see how the bombing runs go. Last few bombing runs with the UK have been very... Oh, and there... Okay, at least we hit back, right? 24 for 13. That's what the bombers are there for, to deal damage and die in the process. Trading UK IPCs for German IPCs. So we'll move these guys down. I'll want to use them to trade Romania eventually. And I'll try to select, I'll move 1 to Moscow again, and I think I'll place 2 into Baltic states. And I will have to remember to actually move these guys off. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I think I will want to put them in range of reinforcing the sea here, in case I want an additional carrier. And I also want them in range of India. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a bit tricky. I don't really want to place them in Ukraine, but maybe it's okay if I move the AA gun there, because you can trade off his Japanese fighters for it pretty well. So I think I'll place it in Karelia. It'll make trading India with UK a bit more awkward, but yeah, I think it's reasonable, even though that's a small issue. And I forgot to move my sub here. That's a mistake on my part. Getting a bit sloppy. But I think we still have decent control here. And we'll get I think I'll produce 1 infantry in India to force him to commit more than 1 infantry to clear it. If he goes through the same variation with retreating and me getting to stack it, him sending 2 means I trade pretty well, because I'll be able to one-shot his 2 infantry and then he won't be able to trade back. In general, the attacker pretty much always trades better, so if you're able to be the last one to attack and he's not able to attack back, that means you're on average are going to trade well. Yeah, 21 IPCs. It's not him buying 3 units. It's not that threatening. But it's going to be a while until I get enough US troops on the mainland.